Until now, I've never really planned for the future. I've always very much lived in the moment. We were working a lot harder, but we were earning a lot less money. There is no kind of specific route to being happy. Find what gives you your happy bubble and grasp it as tight as you can. Good girl. Go have a wee. Go have a wee. This is a real delicacy in northeast Thailand. See these red ants? They've folded this leaf over and inside there are eggs. And it is expensive, very, very expensive. I don't want to get too close because the ants will jump all over me. See, they folded the leaf over and they've sort of glued it. People of Isan absolutely love to eat them. I know Anna does. This tree is noni fruit. You see there, it's a noni fruit. And when it's ripe, it smells like Stilton cheese. There's a ripe noni fruit. Need to go to the farm. Hey, let's go see what's happening. Let's see if the kitchen's finished. Come on, let's go. Open back up. It'd be nice when there's a roof on this carport. My God. This is a lovely view. This is the view that we get from the living area. We can see people coming down that drive. I can check if the in-laws are on the way up and I can quickly think of an excuse as to why I can't entertain them. I'm only joking. The only family member who ever comes here is Anna's dad. And, you know, I love him to bits. So I'm looking forward to when we have the ability to make him a coffee when he comes, rather than just giving him a bottle of lukewarm water from the car. Right, I'm going to talk about risk. I've always been quite carefree and spontaneous. Certainly way up into my mid-30s, I was like that. And I've never really, until now, I've never really planned for the future. I've always very much lived in the moment. And ironically, as soon as I reached a point where I wanted to plan for the future, that is when I risked it all to move here. We had a business that was very successful and we were earning good money from it. And we were also enjoying it. I say we were enjoying it. I think we were enjoying the success of it. We were enjoying the money that came with that. About this time of year, August 2020, some restrictions were lifted and you were allowed to go back into pubs and restaurants and shops and public places. Obviously you had to be masked up, but you were allowed back. The problem is, there was still so much uncertainty about this and so much worry. So obviously for that initial few months when we were allowed to open again, I'm talking about August, September, October 2020, as much as restrictions were lifted, so, you know, we suddenly opened up the doors and we were paying staff again. We were paying, obviously, the bills, they kept going. We were paying the rent on the properties. It costs money to open your doors if you're a commercial premises, of course it does. We were working a lot harder, but we were earning a lot less money. You know, there was a lot less profit. It was actually very difficult to turn a profit at all. Our trading levels were way lower than the previous years. It was very difficult. And what we realised as a couple, we realised that actually we don't like this very much. It's one thing to work 80 hours a week at something that is successful and thriving and giving you a decent level of income. But when you take away that income and then you continue working for 80 hours a week, you started questioning everything. And it was because of that lack of money, you know. And that made me realise, and Anna, that actually we weren't in this for the love of the game, you know, for the love of hospitality. It was for this. So we decided to sell up, we sold up everything, and we moved to Thailand, and we did it in the middle of COVID. Maybe we could have hung on in that business, both businesses, by the skin of our teeth, you know, for the last 3 years. But my God, if we were still in business now, 100% we would be on our asses in hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of debt. For what? For what? You know, when we've got this instead, you know? So for me, it was a risk that paid off. This is more bamboo, look. I'm just having a little chill out under the shade of this banana tree. It's extremely hot today. If you're enjoying the content, consider subscribing. Give me one of them if you're enjoying the video. And I should be forever in your debt. Thank you very much. Let's get back to it. Baby banana sprouting up. Looks very healthy and beautiful. And its mother is looking a little bit tired and old. Life is so short. It's this fleeting thing that we are gifted, and you owe it to yourself to do something that makes you smile. Not just on the outside, because that can be often just bullshit, can't it? But to smile on the inside. That's what's important. Everybody enjoys different things, don't they? There is no kind of specific route to being happy. This idea of the pursuit of happiness, there's not a certain path that you have to take to be happy. It doesn't work like that, does it? It's different for everybody else. But I think you have to be true to yourself. And up until I was 40, I was pursuing something that I thought was happiness. I was pursuing this idea that is fed to us in the West of what happiness is. A new car, a bigger house, the latest Sony television. But in actual fact, people's true happiness lies not in any of those things, unless you're extremely shallow. It wasn't until I reached 40 that I started questioning my goals and my desires and things I had achieved and things that I wanted to achieve. And I started questioning all of that. How I justified this move to myself to a degree was partly based upon my age. I'm only 43 years old. Actually, I'm nearly 44. But I figured I'm still young enough to give this a go. And if things didn't work out, or if they don't work out still in the future, I can go back to the UK. Even having built this house and, developed this land, I can go back to the UK for 2 or 3 months of every year, and I can earn enough and I can save enough so as I can come back here for the other 9-ish months of the year and live very, very happily with the money I've saved in the UK. The reward far outweighs the risk for me, as far as I'm concerned. Every day I'm here at this farm and I walk around the pond and I walk up and down between the banana trees and the mango trees, and it just gives me a feeling of contentment. You know, it's what I call a happy bubble inside. I get this warm feeling. It's almost like butterflies in your stomach, and it's this feeling of absolute genuine contentment, a bit of excitement mixed in there, and it's just a happy feeling. And when I think about the amount of times I got that within my life back in the UK, it was very, very rare indeed. Whereas here, it's most days, and that is the huge difference for me. You know, so find what gives you your happy bubble and grasp it as tight as you can. Work towards your happy bubble. That's my advice.